Through both his actions and his words, Donald Trump empowers right-wing terrorists in the country, and that allows them to carry out acts of violence. In fact, he's been making excuses for the armed militia member who gunned down 2 protesters in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Watch.
Condemn the actions of vigilantes like Kyle Rittenhouse.
We're looking at all of it. That was an interesting situation. You saw the same tape as I saw. And he was trying to get away from them, I guess, it looks like. And he fell, and then they very violently attacked him. And it was something that we're looking at right now, and it's under investigation. But I guess he was in very big trouble. He would have been, he probably would have been killed, but it's under investigation.
So Trump, of course, is leaving out incredibly important details, including the fact that Rittenhouse shot one demonstrator in the head very far away from any business. So his whole reason for being there, and remember, he's from Illinois, he's not from Wisconsin, was to protect businesses from looting. Well, he wasn't near a business and he shot someone in the head, and as other demonstrators were trying to disarm him, he shot more people, killing an additional protester and wounding one other. So those are important details. And look, regardless of what Trump genuinely thinks happened, and I don't think Trump thinks genuinely about anything other than himself and what he can do for his own political gain, he shouldn't be commenting on it in a way that promotes violence on either side. And that's exactly what he's doing there. And he also minimized what Kyle Rittenhouse did and what other right-wingers do when they show up armed. As you guys know, Patriot Prayer showed up to a protest as well in Portland. And that unfortunately escalated to violence to the point where someone on the left did shoot someone on the right, and there was a victim there, someone did die, and that should be condemned. But Donald Trump wanted to completely minimize the actions of the right-wingers who show up to these events, including members of the Patriot Prayer who showed up with knives and with paintball guns. Let's take a look.
I noticed you did not mention that your supporters were also in Portland this weekend, firing paintball guns at people, some form of pepper spray. So do you want to also take this chance to condemn what your supporters did?
Well, I understand they had large numbers of people that were supporters, but that was a peaceful protest. And paint is not, and paint is a defensive mechanism. Paint is not bullets. Your supporters, and they are your supporters indeed, shot a young gentleman who and killed him, not with paint, but with a bullet. And I think it's disgraceful. These people, they protested peacefully. They went in very peacefully. And I'll tell you what they're protesting. They're protesting when they turn on television or read whatever they may be reading, and they see a city like Chicago where 78 people were shot and 13 died, or a city like New York where the crime rate has gone through the roof, or a city like Portland where the entire city is ablaze all the time, and a mayor says we don't want any help from the federal government. When these people turn that on and they see that, they say, this is not our country. This is not our country. That was a peaceful protest, totally.
The way that Trump categorized what happened with Rittenhouse, it made it seem like they're investigating the people who were killed as opposed to the person who did the killing. And he's like, oh, we're gonna look into it. Okay, explain to me what you're looking into. Because Chad Wolf, the acting head of Department of Homeland Security, said the Attorney General, Bill Barr, is looking into arresting the organizers of protests of Black Lives Matter and Antifa. They said nothing about looking into the organizers that put Kyle Rittenhouse there. I mean, there was a militia, they work with the cops. Are they investigating the cops in Kenosha that encouraged the militia, gave them water? Rittenhouse strolls over to the cops after killing 2 people, walks up to their cop car with a giant weapon on him. The cops don't stop him. They don't care about his weapon. He's white. It's okay. He's a right winger. It's okay. So he strolls up to the cops. He's just murdered 2 people, and then he strolls out. He leaves. So are they investigating the cops who organized Kyle Rittenhouse's murder of 2 people? No, of course not. Are they looking at the militia who organized it? Of course not. They're looking at the people he killed. because that's who Donald Trump and his administration is. And then he talks about sending in these vigilantes to all these different towns. Now there's vigilantes in California, there's vigilantes everywhere. And they fly their Trump flag proudly and they go around trying to intimidate people. And they come with weapons and they think we can kill anybody and Tucker Carlson and Donald Trump will defend us. And we'll say it was self-defense. We'll put a weapon right to your goddamn head. And if you don't bow down, we'll murder you. And Fox News will call it self-defense. And Donald Trump will very likely pardon us. And that's how fascists use vigilantes to create terrorism, to target the rest of us so they quiet opposition. If you don't vote this election, you're an idiot and you've lost, like you don't get that we're gonna lose democracy. You don't get it, you don't get it. And if you're gonna vote for Trump, I want nothing to do with you, nothing. If you're in my personal life and you were stupid or monstrous enough to vote for Donald Trump, I'm done with you forever and ever and ever. I don't want to know or associate with any fascists.
Obviously, what Trump says publicly promotes what we're seeing happening right now when it comes to civil unrest. But I do also want to just note that a white supremacist from Florida who identified as a white supremacist and called himself an Antifa Hunter has just been sentenced to 3 years and 5 months in federal prison because of what he did in terrorizing Black Lives Matter demonstrators, one of whom wanted to run for city council in Florida, but was discouraged from doing so because of this intimidation that he faced from the perpetrator. So Daniel McMahon. I said this name a billion times today, practicing it to make sure I don't butcher it during the live show. And of course I butcher it. But anyway, you guys get the picture. He was sentenced to 3 years and 5 months in federal prison for cyber stalking and bias motivated intimidation and interference with a candidate for elected office. He pleaded guilty in April to attacking city council candidate Don Gathers, a black man who also is a Black Lives Matter demonstrator, online. And he also threatened to sexually assault the daughter of another activist who protested white supremacist. So the woman's daughter apparently is underage and also suffers from autism. And this monster started threatening to sexually assault this young girl, basically. And so the FBI luckily had been tracking him, and he was arrested in September of 2019, charging him with forcing Gathers out of the race. Soon after his arrest, a woman contacted federal agents to report that he had also been cyber stalking her and threatening to sexually assault her underage daughter who has autism. He also posted the daughter's image on a racist social media platform and Googled terms like sex with autistic girls.
Okay.
I mean, they're monsters in this country, and they're emboldened and empowered by Donald Trump and his rhetoric. And he loves it. He loves the chaos. He sees it as a giant political win for himself.
There's still good guys in the FBI and Justice Department doing great work. And by good guys, I don't mean left wing. I have no idea what their politics is, but they're actually doing their jobs. They track down domestic terrorists like this so-called Antifa Hunter, and they get him before he rapes the poor little girl. That's what he was threatening to do. And the mom says, how am I supposed to sleep at night? Because he put it up on all these boards, these right-wing boards. And if he doesn't do it because we caught him, are we sure that somebody else is not going to be, come to do it? And they sent around links about how to have sex with autistic young girls. So this is the party of family values, by the way, party of family values. And so thank God there were good folks at the FBI who did their job. If you can't get behind that, all right, then you're beyond all hope and decency and compassion. Okay, but now that's still the first term. There's still some good people actually doing their jobs in law enforcement. Second term, well, Trump is saying we're not going to investigate right wingers anymore. We're only going to investigate left wingers. And if right wingers kill you, we're going to say it's self-defense. So is there going to be anybody left at the Justice Department and the FBI in the second term that actually investigates anything like this? Or are they just going to wink and nod at it? That way you'll know, hey, if your daughter's autistic, don't go to a protest of white supremacists. Jesus Christ, man. That's what Donald Trump has brought to this country. If you're on board for that, you also are definitely a monster. You are. And I don't care if you cry about it and if you need a safe space over it. Oh my God, Cenk Uygur said I was a monster when all I want is the right wing to be able to threaten to murder left-wingers all over and basically end democracy. Oh, boo-hoo, I'm the victim. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're a terrible person. And so, and the reason I'm on the warpath on it is because just go on social media. Just go on it doesn't matter. It's not my Twitter thing. Go anywhere on social media and you see hordes of right wingers saying Rittenhouse is awesome. These vigilantes are awesome. We should all bring our guns everywhere and point it at left wingers. They're awesome. It's self-defense. That's goddamn right. We have every right to kill them. Yeah, we're awesome. And oh my God, the left wing said a chant or they said something wrong. Arrest them all. Arrest them all. What did they do? Did they commit the violence like you guys? No, I don't care. I don't care. Arrest my political opponents and murder them and let them get away with it. No, if Trump wins, America's gone. It's not hyperbole, and we lost. And there was a time in Roosevelt's reign where they were thinking of doing a coup against FDR. We would have lost the country then if that coup had succeeded. Thank God it didn't. And here we are at another pivotal moment in history where we could lose the country. And fascists are here, they're in the streets. That's just the reality.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.